So this guy RG3 here, people, this guy RG3, he went his entire athletic career from when we seen him smiling, tap dancing, put his tap shoes on. A man by the name of Rob Parker, black man, I think it was ESPN, right? He was fired from, was it ESPN? I think it was ESPN. He was fired for saying that RG3 just wasn't black enough. Here's what RG3 once said about race, people, when he was a quarterback for the Washington Redskins. The fans of the Washington Redskins were so happy to have a black quarterback, especially such a high pick Heisman winner like RG3. So the fans were super happy. You know, they thinking about the old days and Doug Williams. Oh, we got a black, yeah, we got. The Washington Post interviewed him. And he went on to talk about how he doesn't see race. This is what he said. This is what RG3 said. My parents raised me to never look at race or color, so it doesn't have a big part in my self-identity. But I think it has played a big part in how other people view me. Just going back to when I was a kid to even now, doing the things that I've been able to do. As an African American, I think other people view it in a different way than I do. That's what RG3 said. He was raised not to ever see race or color. This is what his mother said. This clown, her name is Jacqueline Griffin. She's been clowning for a while, people, by the way. That's why I said clown. She's been bootlicking for a while. She said, my children can thrive in any environment they're in because they don't see color, which is something we really strive for in our lives. It's not about somebody's race, it's about humanity. And God wants to love everybody, no matter their background. I don't want them to see color. It's not about that. Any experience we had dealing with racism, we always told our kids, you learn from that. Don't do that to others. Well, I tell you who tried to do that. Robert Griffith III, RG3. He was called out by the white people that he loves. He tried to appear to be raceless his entire athletic career that we known him when he was in the public eye. This guy RG3, he was a Heisman Trophy winner at Baylor University, quarterback, super athlete, went on, played in the NFL for a few teams, but the Washington Redskins was his main team. Well, this guy, Robert Griffith III, RG3, he made a public social media statement that called out the racial bias with quarterbacks in the NFL, okay? Because we know this is true and it's always been there. I don't even watch football anymore. I don't know who these quarterbacks are, even the black ones, but I know who RG3 is because at the time when he was playing, I watched football, okay? I've heard of these guys, but I never seen them play. But this is just whatever. If you don't watch football, this is just a microcosm of, social relations in America, racial relations or whatever. You know what I mean? So everybody knows that there is racial bias in the NFL when it comes to black quarterbacks. Even somebody like RG3 has to admit it, or he admitted it. He didn't have to. This is a guy who loves Whitey, tried very hard to appear racist his entire career, said he was raised like that. Even he had to call it out. Because listen, sometimes what happens with these sellout guys like RG3 and these bootlicks, sometimes they get exhausted. They get tired of lying. They get tired of it. They just want to tell the truth sometime with their name and their platform.
Reggie, the baton has been passed for over a century here. We've been talking earlier about if it wasn't for the Willie Mays, the Jackie Robinson, the Reggie Jacksons, the three of us wouldn't have an opportunity to play. How emotional is it for you to come back to a play that you played with one of the greatest teams around?
Alex, when people ask me a question like that, it's like coming back here is not easy. The racism that I played here, when I played here, the difficulty of going through different places where we traveled. Fortunately, I had a manager and I had players on the team that helped me get through it. But I wouldn't wish it on anybody. People said to me today, I spoke, and they said, you think you're a better person? You think you won when you played here in Concord? I said, I would never want to do it again. I walked into restaurants and they would point at me and said, can't eat here. I would go to a hotel and they say, then can't stay here. We went to Charlie Finley's country club for a welcome home dinner and they pointed me out with the N-word. He can't come in here. Finley marched the whole team out. Finally, they let me in there. He said, we're going to go to the diner and eat hamburgers. We'll go where we're wanted. Fortunately, I had a manager, Johnny McNamara, that if I couldn't eat in the place, nobody would eat. We'd get food to travel. If I couldn't stay in a hotel, they'd drive to the next hotel and find a place where I could stay. Had it not been for Raleigh Fingers, Johnny McNamara, Dave Duncan, Joe and Sharon Rudy, I slept on their couch 3-4 nights a week for about a month and a half. Finally, they were threatened that they would burn our apartment complex down unless I got out. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. The year I came here, Bull Connor was the sheriff the year before. And they took minor league baseball out of here because in 1963, the Klan murdered 4 black girls, children, in 11, 12, 14 years old at a church here and never got indicted. They were from the Klan. Life magazine did a story on them like they were being honored. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. At the same time, had it not been for my white friends, had it not been for a white manager, and Rudy, Fingers, and Duncan, and Lee Myers, I would have never made it. I was too physically violent. I was ready to physically fight I'd have got killed here because I'd have beat someone's ass, and you'd have saw me in an oak tree somewhere.
Reggie, I can't even imagine. It's awful you had to go through that, but appreciate you sharing the rawness and the honesty of it with our audience. I mean, really,
we love you, Reg.
Yeah. Thank you.
Quick history lesson right there.
That's a great history lesson. Reggie Jackson telling us all about it, preaching. Wow, that's unbelievable. The great Reggie Jackson.
That's a living, breathing human being who went through horrific abuses in his lifetime. He's 78. He's younger than President Biden. He's Donald Trump's age and went through that stuff. People abused him. White people abused him. And that kind of shit, it still goes on today, not certainly to the level and with the frequency and the intensity as it once did. It's more silent and pernicious maybe because it can be, there's plausible deniability, but police abuse still happens. Discrimination still happens.
Well, apparently this white quarterback for the Chargers, his name is Justin Herbert. He had a game this past Saturday, playoffs, and he stunk it up. He was terrible, okay? This guy's a white American quarterback. He had a terrible game, okay? Terrible game, and RG3 went to his platform to write about this game with this white quarterback. The national media better hold Justin Herbert accountable for his playoff performances like they do Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. Basically, RG3's statement was, you hold these black quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott accountable in the playoffs. Make sure you hold the white guy accountable as well, Justin Herbert, because he stunk it up. He didn't put the stunk it up part. He said everything else. Make sure you hold Justin Herbert accountable like you hold Lamar Jackson and Dak Prescott. The white community got upset. They got fussed. As good of a good little Negro as you could try to be. Anybody, not just RG3. White folks only like you when you are in your little Negro corner. They never respect you because you stay in that corner. But they only like you as long as you are entertaining them and staying in that little Negro corner. Sit at the kids' table over there and just sit down and show your gums, Negro, and shut up. And that's what RG3 has been doing, empowering white people, But they went at him. They went at him for saying that. RG3 got tired of lying. He got exhausted. Cooning is exhausting. It makes you tired. Takes a toll on your body. Just think of being a coon as city miles compared to being a real man as highway miles. RG3 got a lot of city miles, potholes and right turns and dodging bicycles and segways and all. The dude is tired, man. He just wanted to tell the truth. But then white people said this. This is what the white community said. All quarterbacks are held accountable. Black or white, RG3, you were better than that, said one fan. Okay, people, why you think this fan said that RG3 was better than that? You know why. Another white fan said, dude has no weapons. Why hold him to the same level of accountability? Makes no sense. Saying that the white quarterback don't have weapons, so you can't hold him to the same accountability as these black quarterbacks. That's what a white fan said. Another white fan said, RG3, I've had about enough of you and your safe spaces and your race baiting ridiculousness. Just stop it. Another white fan said, come on, Robert. Damn, does everything have to be about race? Another fan accused him of causing division. Isn't that what white supremacists always do? And a lot of you bootlick Negroes who like to get in comments, they like to write things like, this is causing division. When things are addressed, when when black people address things with proofs and they call out the Satanism, they call out the white supremacy, this is called race baiting. Anytime black people is not in their little Negro corner showing their gums and they tell the truth, they call that race baiting. This is how these people respond, because they stupid. And you Negroes are stupid too, who say it, by the way. Let's go.
History Month you find ridiculous. Why? You're going to relegate my history to a month? Oh, come on. What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? Well, come on. Tell me. Well, I'm Jewish. Okay. Which month is Jewish History Month? There isn't one. Oh. Why not? Do you want one? No. I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history. How are we going to get rid of racism? Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man. Yeah. And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan.
Get out of here, Morgan Freeman. Trying to get a standing ovation, trying to give jewels. But that was soft shoe coonery right there. That was sellout talk. What a disgusting ending. Stop talking about race when white people created race and they are racist. But you say stop, whatever.
This is why I talk about race as much as I do. This is why I bang on about the dangers of white supremacy and white Christian nationalism, which is now a more powerful force than maybe it's ever been inside of 50 or 80 years in America. They want their country back. They want their white supremacy back. And with Donald Trump and the rest of the cadre of idiots that surround him, they're gonna get it unless we band together and vote against them.
But the thing about this is, man, you RG3 type of Negroes, y'all never get it. Y'all never get it. Now, RG3, he was not wrong for what he just said. Anybody who ever watched football or anything, or currently still do watch it, it's the truth. It's baked in the game. But now he looks like a fool because he tried to appear to be raceless all this time. And these white fans who once liked him never respected him. Now, his wife's family probably don't even respect him. You can't. I mean, how could you? They're mad at him now. As a black person, you put so much effort into being raceless in America, but when you do that, here's the thing. When you put this effort into being raceless, like people like RG3, you have to be a hypocrite. You have to lie. You have to appear fake. You have to be a coward, because everything is about race in America. It was built on racism. White people created race for a reason. You know what I mean? Now RG3 told the truth, and everybody's going to go back and say, well, you said you didn't see race, RG3. That's what they do to you all. Don't be a coward, yo. I don't know what's wrong with people. Don't be a coward. White people do not respect you. They respect people who stand up for themselves and tell the truth. They may not like them people, but they respect them. You know what I mean? They only like these RG3 types for what they can do. entertain us, and sit over there in the corner with your gums showing, Negro. That's it. If RG3 didn't have anything, if he wasn't that super athlete, winning the Heisman, making Baylor University millions of dollars, making these other teams millions of dollars, he'd be just another N-word. His white wife would just walk past and probably wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? And he's dark-skinned. He's dark-skinned. Look, it is what it is. I'm dark-skinned too. Y'all know how it is. Dark-skinned Negroes, when you coon, you go overboard because you feel like you got to make up for the darkness. You don't have that khaki look. You don't have that Bryant Gumbel look that white people like. You know, they like that Bryant Gumbel khaki look. You don't have that. So that's why you see some guys like RG3 going overboard with the minstrel. Dark-skinned people, you know, you see that sometimes. I'm just keeping it real. Whatever, man. Take it how you want. So now RG3 looks like a fool for telling the truth. What buffoonery, man. But cut it out, y'all. Just be a man, be a woman, stand on it, tell the truth. People will respect you. They don't have to like you. They don't like you anyway. Easy.
Listen to what Reggie Jackson says. Don't cast this aside as ancient American history, even though that doesn't even exist. He was being abused and targeted in the 70s, in the 80s.